Hello everyone. Today I want to do a review video on the SNES Classic. We'll be going to a couple of games and I'll just give my overall thoughts on this console. Here we have the SNES Classic again, and as you can see it's a pretty small console. When compared to the original controller it's it's very small. We'll just be going through a little bit of gameplay, and I'll just give my opinion on the responsiveness of the console, and also if the games themselves are pretty okay. So let's go through that. We had the SNES Classic has a total of 21 games, which also includes one unreleased game, which is Star Fox 2. It used to be called, if I'm correctly, something like R-Wing or Pilot Wings when it first came out in Europe. However, it got changed into Star Fox 1 and 2 when it got released on the new SNES Classic. So here we're just going to play a very short round of Super Mario Kart, and I'll just give you an idea of the functions on the SNES Classic. I'll be using the rewind function, which in my opinion has helped me a lot in a lot of games which I've played so far. So what happens is, if you for example make a mistake and fall in the water, you can go here, which is your save stat, and you press the Y button, which makes it save. Then you press the X and you can simply rewind the game, which helps a lot. So the thing is, you can prevent yourself from making the mistakes, and this simply causes you to progress a lot faster, especially in difficult games or games which require some reflexes which could make you make some mistakes, especially in Mario Kart, making these types of mistakes when you're in the third race usually causes you to lose. So it's a very, I think the rewind function is a great idea. It makes you go back in the game and simply undo your mistakes for the most part. I personally am a fan of Super Mario Kart. Has great replay value, also a great multiplayer game. Super Mario World, which I just finished. I did all levels on the game, which probably says you something about addictiveness. I think most of these games held up pretty nicely. If you're looking here, you can see I unlocked a special skin over the world map, and so far I've been pretty happy with how all games look. And when compared to the NES Classic, which I've played shortly, most games are really classics, which are still very enjoyable to play. Games like Star Fox 2 are even 3D based games. However, I do have to say that Star Fox 2 has a lot of frame rate problems. So at a lot of parts in the game you simply have trouble playing it because the frame rate drops to like 8 or 10 frames a second, which is almost unplayable. However, it was an unreleased game, so yeah, you can't really say that much about it. Games like Super Metroid, Zelda, Yoshi's Island, Donkey Kong Country are just amazing games, and having 21 of these classics on one console for only €8 is a true bargain. Buying all these games separately would probably cause you to set back a lot more money than you'd be spending on the SNES Classic. Going to the functions, I personally like just using the original resolution. You also have CRT mode, but I would not use it on OLED TV. For the people who are not familiar with it, OLEDs will have image retention. We're going to go with CRT mode. This is because certain scan lines will stay on the screen at all times, which isn't a great idea if you want to prevent image retention. Also, the backgrounds, I would not, on OLED TVs you cannot choose these backgrounds as they would cause image retention, especially when playing for hours. So if you have an OLED TV, you probably have to use the black background only, which is kinda a shame, but it beats having image retention on both sides of your screen when watching other things. On the other hand, one of the major pluses when having an OLED TV, like I explained in previous videos, is the black borders. The screen is a 4:3 aspect ratio, and these black borders are simply blacked out completely. What happens, especially when playing at night, you simply forget about these borders. They just disappear in the background. So you actually have the feeling that you're playing on a 4:3 screen, which is pretty cool actually. On top of that, the colors are amazing. I didn't actually expect a console which was this old to look this good. And the controls are still pretty tight. Some games are obviously not as polished as their counterparts on the Nintendo Switch, GameCube or Wii. But the quality is still very much there. I think some games are still very fun to play, especially Donkey Kong Country, Super Mario World, Super Mario Kart, Metroid Prime, and to name other few. So games on this console just look very nice. Most of the games are really good for replaying, especially if you play them in the past. The rewind function is, in my opinion, one of the best features implemented on this console. What happens, especially with Super Mario World, you have some very difficult levels and you can constantly rewind and just get back to the point where you just before you died. So it makes playing a lot of games a lot easier and a lot more fun. You don't get tired of it, because if you make a mistake, especially in games like Super Mario World and Donkey Kong Country, you can simply rewind and do it over. Otherwise I would have probably quit playing these games after about 10 minutes. So the rewind function is a huge plus. Just to showcase it in another game like let me just take an example, Donkey Kong Country. Just a minute. Yes. Great game, by the way, Donkey Kong Country. It's sad that I didn't put the later parts on it, but I guess you can't have everything. Just to showcase the rewind function when playing games which can actually cause you to rage quit. So here we're entering a level. And the thing is, with Donkey Kong Country you have a lot of levels where you might just make a mistake. So what happens, you just fell, and when you're a little bit later in the level it might be very irritating. So what you're going to do is, you have this static save game here. You press yay, so it gets locked. Then you press X, and it actually starts. You simply start replaying to the point where you were before you fell. And you press start, and here you are again. So what happens is, it's simply much more fun to play games if you can go back to a certain point of time where you fell to your death. So that's a huge plus on the console. All in all, I've really enjoyed it so far. It's a great console to play, and definitely recommend it if you're into retro gaming, even if you're not very familiar with it. So thanks for watching today. The SNES Classic it's a great console, great value for money, and the rewind function is truly amazing. And yeah, stay tuned for next videos and have a nice day.